just a menace. Menace to sobriety.
I remember when that awful thing happened where you're on tour and then people because you were one of the very first people to go through the cancellation.
I think I was the first comedian to get cancelled. Definitely. Yeah.
In particular, the way it happened to you. And I remember people going, "He's this, he's that," blah, blah. And I remember thinking, I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice guy. And it going, what people say and what the person you were, I remember going, this doesn't make sense at all. And then the more you see it happen to other people, the more you realise, that's standard.
It's mad, isn't it? Because, and I know that you guys have covered this loads, but I mean, it's mad because now as a comedian, you can't, like, what I used to love about comedy was being able to create fictional scenarios in my mind in order to write a joke, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the Dapper Laughs character was created around the sort of premise that I was sleeping with loads of women and really good at pulling birds and shagging and stuff, and that was never the case.
Yeah.
But I created that in order to make punchlines about lads being shit at doing stuff like that and looking silly, but that was taken as fact. The comedy was taken as fact. Do you know what I mean? My punchlines and my jokes were taken as a reflection of who I am and what my and it's the same now, isn't it? You go on stage and you write comedy, you can't really make up hypothetical situations. Do you know what I mean? Or you run the risk.
Of course. We all run that gauntlet, and we all know that potentially this could be our last gig.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I remember when I was working at a comedy club and there were three of the very biggest comedians in the green room, and I knew them all and we got on well. And I remember them, and bear in mind, this was 2018, so this is 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And they were all terrified about the jokes that they had out there for a while.
Oh, wow.
And
coming back to bite them in the arse.
Coming back to bite them. And this was some of the biggest comedians in the UK. And I wouldn't even say they were particularly edgy. And one of them was an ethnic minority. So people will put forward that, it's just white men, blah, blah, blah. No, this guy was absolutely terrified as well.
Wow.
Because that's where we are now.
So there's comedians out there right now that are like, hoping they blow up, but kind of like, I fucking hope I don't blow up too much, or if I do blow up, I'm fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Because let's be honest, we're all human beings, Dan. We all make mistakes. We all say things that are problematic. We all say things that we haven't thought through. As comedians, we put stuff out there. When you look back on it a couple of years down the line, you think, well, that probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, mate, I've got loads of that. Yeah.
And also, things are a reflection of the time that they were created in. Criticising somebody for making off-colour jokes in 1992. Yeah. Well, you're judging a 1992 joke by a 2023 standard. That isn't particularly fair.
Yeah, and also the comedian changes. Do you know what I mean? Like, grows up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what I found funny back when I was living with my friends, drinking and doing drugs and going out and chasing birds, is very different to what I find funny now, being a father and married and having 2 kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was even thinking recently, I used to do 6-second sex secrets, where it used to be like 6-second sex secrets, and then I'd teach men about, little tips about shagging, and I was thinking about rehashing it and doing like 6-second sex secrets, like married edition, and just be like, take the bins out. Do you know what I mean? And that, like, but it's funny because it's true, isn't it? How can you judge a comedian on? I mean, I'm probably going to get it now. Do you know what I mean? Now that I'm going back out, and 10 years ago I said some dumb shit, but I was pretty dumb 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
We all were. All were. And that's not about race, gender, ethnicity, or anything like that. It's about being human. Because I hate to break it to people listening to it, when you were 18, 19, or as a man right until about the age of 37, you're pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's only when you get older you're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You know? But you've got to, if you don't let people go through that stage of being an idiot and actually making the mistakes, then how are you going to become a fully formed adult? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Menace to sobriety. Just a menace. Just